Welcome back to GTU. Everyone has a story. They help us understand each other. And Doug Jessop is the man to tell that story. He's here in this sponsored interview to focus on leaving your mark in the world and how to do that. Now, Doug is the host of Jessop's Journal, and you've always liked doing extended interviews. Why is that, Doug?
Well, I did the success stories and the caring stories for years in the 10 o'clock news. And, it's like 1 to 2 minute stories, and they're great stories, but it's hard to get into the depth of things in 1 or 2 minutes.
Well, even here on Good Things Utah, we are limited by time.
Yeah, and so my show, I can do all kinds of things, but now I've got some extra studio time, and I wanted to do something special for everybody out there. So here's the question, and I've asked you this question because it's the last question I ask everybody that gets interviewed. So everybody out there right here, okay, I'm going to ask you this question. It's a little esoteric, so, but how do you want to leave your mark?
It takes a second.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a minute to answer that when you asked me.
Yeah.
But honestly, every one of you out there has a story to tell, even if you think you don't.
Right, exactly. And the thing that I look at is when I was 12 years old, okay? This is the reason I do this whole thing. When I was 12 years old, I got a cassette recorder. And I had one person that was just really, really special to me. It was my Gramps, okay? And he would let me interview him and all that kind of stuff. Very, very patient guy, okay? I'm a Gramps now, and I love doing that. But he said something very, very special as the last words on this entire earth that motivate me, and it's the reason I do what I do.
Family heritage stories, those are the interviews that you do.
Yeah.
Take a look at this, everybody.
My grandfather and I were very close. He died a long time ago. The last thing he said to my mother was, "Please remember me." He'd come to our house on Sundays a lot of the time for dinner. I'd take him around the rose garden at our house. I still grow roses to this day and think of him. Gramps was one sharp dresser. These cufflinks right here are actually his. I made in this custom hat. I call this hat the George. So Gramps, when you say, "Please remember me," I got you covered.
And you're doing that by producing these family heritage story interviews that you can do for anybody out there.
It's not age limited, okay? And the idea is that we want to be able to help tell stories, because if stories don't get passed down from the next generation, it's as though those people never existed. And so the thing that I really want people to remember is that everyone does have a story. And stories do have power, and they help us understand each other. Because think about it, you think of your grandma or something, and you forget that she actually was your age. She did things. And so I've interviewed people like, for example, Brandon Fugel. He came in and he shared some of his memorabilia. Clara Hurtado, okay? Oh, the puzzle guy, Eric Dowdle came into the studio. The idea I'm looking at is I want to invite anybody that wants to come into the studio. We're going to set aside an hour of time, okay? And we're just going to chat.
What do you say to people who say, "I don't like to be interviewed, I'm not good at that"?
Oh, baloney. Okay, the thing is, we're just going to chat. I'm going to have a little pre-interview with them so I kind of know what's going on. So it's not like we're going to have a cold, etc. But we're going to find out some more and find out what's important to you. Because imagine being able to put your story on your kids and your grandkids' devices.
You can do that now.
Oof.
Because you give them a book, we're not giving you a VHS tape anymore.
No, I'm giving you a digital video that you get to keep and share.
Well, not just for your kids, but for you.
Right.
You have that, and that story is preserved. How can people book an appointment?
FamilyHeritageStories.com.
Makes it easy, everybody. That website is right there on your screen, along with the phone number. You only do a couple a week because you really like to edit these and spend time.
Right.
So if this is something you're thinking about, what a great Christmas gift for someone in your life or for you, make sure you go to our website. And thanks to Jessop's Journal for this sponsored interview. Good to see you, my friend.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're a great interviewer, everybody.
You
You're in good hands. Still